Hello, my name is Casey. Here on my Unit 2 presentation. During Unit 2, I tried mono print workshop. I never done this before. It is really interesting that I only use 3 or 4 colors to draw, and I can mix color to create many new colors. I like mixed color very much, and blue is my favorite color. I like mono print workshop. So I think it is suitable for me to choose printmaking pathway next year. During Unit 2, I was research the limited space and the inner child. The start point is from hidden. When I think about hidden, I think about many different subjects, such as nature, space, time, female, and arts. I think nature is a good place which has so many energy. I try to observe the leaves, road, park corner, and I went to Greenwich Park. I see many hidden things, like cats, cigarettes, and some roads. Road inspired me to think about the space. During my research, I found the limited space. After tutorial with Matt, he told me that there is a saying in UK which called "What's behind the door?" So I tried to some collage and cutting about what's behind the door. I drew some cats and dogs, because the cats and dogs in my dormitory are always hiding in the corner. I tried to develop hidden in my final project. At first, I just tried to sketch my studio, which is my limited space. Also, I want to sketch my friend's studio, but my friends and I are living in the same area. So there is no difference between us. Then I started to think about the inner child. I just drew some simple characters to show my inner child. The inner child we can think of as a part of our mind that restores all of our emotional experience from childhood. So even though we are no longer in childhood, we still have some flashbacks. While we are now grown up, the wounded parts of ourselves that are still contributed to the things in our daily life. My artist reference is Francine. She is a Hong Kong artist. Her painting makes me think about a sense of my childhood. I like her painting color, which gives me a strong sense of inspiration. Another reference is James. It seems that James is simple. He likes to use meaningless symbols. His art is not about form, but about the philosophy of life. The intentions of my project is about take care of your inner child. That means the relationship between you and yourself. Even we are no longer as a children, we are still flashbacks through current experience. So while we are now grown up, this part of ourselves that we are still contributed to the things. And this is my storyboard. The inspiration is from my sketchbooks. This is a storyboard of animation stars. It looks very simple, but I just want to let people know how the inner child struggle with ourselves. We are always struggle with ourselves. This is a publication problem. And this is my final animation. And this is my experiment. Here are my final clay model. This is a colored model. I use both stoneware and white clay, which from Japan. The white clay is more easy to be shaped and dried very quickly, and stoneware is rarely surprise me when the models are failed. I think clay is a good material to express the inner child concept, vividly expressing emotions to the audience. This year, my projects are mainly talks about myself and my personal feelings. Next year, I want to explore more about the relationship between the human and the universe. I am really interested about the synchronia. This concept comes from Carl Jung. He thinks that connections between the worlds are not causal. Humanity needs to rethink the reasonable of synchronia, as the philosophy says that all events in life are in two fundamental different correlations. The first is the objective correlation of cause and effect. The second is the subjective correlation. And these two correlations exist at the same time, so that the destiny of people is linked to the other of the destiny, and that everyone needs to control his own life, and at the same time everyone has a relationship of other people. Research is an important part of illustration. I am not good at research. When I read the illustration research methods, I learned that research is an ingredient within the creative process. It is necessary when the gaps in knowledge, a problem or a question is identified and further insight or experience is needed. In order to progress, arriving at a solution or offer new propositions, this process is not confined to a particular point with any illustration project, but rather is ongoing and actively impacts the development of the work. Furthermore, the discoveries, interests that can arise as a part of the research process inform and propel the project forward, sometimes in entirely unforeseen ways. These developments should not be feared, but rather expected and enjoyed. About progression, I want the internship this summer because I want more work experience. Internship will not only improve my knowledge, but also enhance my practical ability and communicative skills. More importantly, my interest in being a professional illustrator will greatly strengthen through this experience. How to implement my plan? My current plan is to do some part-time jobs next year, building my professional portfolio of work. It is obvious that showing my illustration project to others is really important. As an illustrator, I need to engage in social worlds. In short, illustration is inclusive, people-oriented, and unable to operate the everyday social life with communication, audience, and contact being central.